Hello, I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 5 a.m. on Saturday in London. I got it right this time. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California.
If you like this video, please subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you. Oh, hang on one moment. I laughed so hard I'm coughing now. Last week's trivia question was, is Andre Norton a pen name?
Yes and no. She was born Alice Mary Norton, and she used several pen names or nom de plume. Then she changed her name to Andre Norton. You'll hear more about that soon.
Hey, Don.
Oh, hello, Don. Welcome. So glad you could be with us.
So, as you might have guessed, Pam is profiling Andre Norton tonight. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds. Pam, well, for one thing, since she had to do a pen name, I'm surprised she didn't just use Al.
I don't
that
know.
could be short for Alice, but
I don't know. We'll dig into it a little bit more.
Pam was has a somewhat personal connection to Andre Norton because she lived in northern Ohio for 30 years and remembers the dollhouse in the Cleveland Public Library that Ms. Norton donated to the library. Pam did some digging to learn more about this award-winning sci-fi author. Hang on, and hi, Janie.
Hi, Janie. Happy Friday to you too.
Yeah. Pam, what else have you learned about Andre Norton?
We actually have some other connections as well, Jeff. Andre Norton was born on February 17th in Cleveland, Ohio. I was born on February 15th in Akron, Ohio, though 50 years after Ms. Norton. We'll be scratching the surface of this sci-fi author tonight, so bear in mind there's a lot more about her than we will hear tonight. So go ahead and share the screen. Mm-hmm. So, of course, you can find some great stuff on the Wikipedia. They talk about her original name, and it's got birth and death. And actually, she's pretty contemporary. She made it to 2005, so that's pretty cool. Was an American writer of science fiction and fantasy who also wrote works of historical and contemporary fiction. She wrote primarily under the pen name Andre Norton. That was until she changed it. Also, Andre North, there's another one of those names, Alan Weston. She was the first woman to be Gandalf Grandmaster of Fantasy, to be the SFWA Grandmaster, and to be inducted into the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame. What's that SFW mean? I don't think. Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Association.
Yeah.
SFWA. Okay, great. And, they cover all the usual stuff. Born in Cleveland, died in Tennessee. Pen names, writer, librarian. She wrote from 1935 to 2005, so quite a long time. They give her biography about her parents, who are, just some folks in Cleveland, 1912. She did begin writing when she was in high school, so that's quite a long time to, be writing from the time she was very young. Her teacher was Sylvia Cochran. She was the editor of the literary page in the school's paper, the Collinwood Spotlight. And, Collinwood High School actually sounded familiar to me, too, although I never went there. I didn't live on the east side. Well, I did live on the east side briefly. Oh, Cliff's here. Hi.
Hey, Cliff.
Well, I think it's not going until tomorrow.
I heard it was going to be 5 a.m. Tomorrow morning Pacific time.
Yeah.
They were saying 8 a.m. Eastern, and there's a 20-minute window where they can launch it. Otherwise,
yeah, I caught a couple of times. One of them being at 11:17 tonight, something like that.
Yeah, but the last time I heard, it had been scrubbed because they wanted to replace something.
Yeah, right. So she started writing short stories, which happens for a lot of authors, I think. Wrote her first book. And, I don't really want to delve into this too much because there's a lot. and you can certainly go to the Wikipedia page too. But we'll get some highlights. She did go to Flora Stone Mather College. I guess she wanted to be a teacher, and took classes at Western Reserve, which, if you know the area, Western Reserve and let's see what Case University merged. They became Case Western Reserve University, and it is still known as CWRU now, Case Western Reserve University. In fact, the Science Fiction Film Marathon runs there every January. All right, so she did have to drop out from school because of, well, it says World War II in a lot of places, but I guess the Depression would have meant, problems with money. And she did begin working for the Cleveland Library System.
Oh, Cliff says that just got a YouTube notice 5 minutes ago.
They're going to launch in 30 minutes? Well, maybe. It kept changing. Oh, we have a new person. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, Eric. Which is your favorite star aside from our sun? Well, yes, the sun is kind of my favorite because
yes,
it makes things grow.
I kind of like Proxima Centauri because it's the next closest star.
Mm-hmm.
And so back to Andre Norton. She was at the library for, well, it says 18 years here, but she kind of left and came back. But again, you can certainly delve into this as far as you would like to go. I'm going to just hit some highlights. She was in the children's section, and that's where she donated the dollhouse to, the children's section. All right. Oh, I love this part. In a 1996 interview, she recalled defending the acquisition of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien for the library. How wonderful is that? In 34, she legally changed her name to Andre Norton. She was 22 at the time, and it was basically right after they published her first. Well, let's see. It's kind of mixed up because they published her second book first, and then her first book later. Oh, hello. Let's get another comment.
Alpha Centauri for Lost in Space.
Got it. Yes, I get that. And it is close too. Not as close as Proxima, but anyway. All right. So she was, she also worked at the Library of Congress briefly, tried to set up a business with a bookstore, but that didn't quite work. Okay, here it is. It's, she was involved in the project related to alien citizenship, which abruptly terminated when we entered the World War II. Here it is. She bought a bookstore called Mystery House in Mount Rainier, Maryland. And then the business failed, though, so she came back to Cleveland to work for the public library again. So there's that in 1950. She did retire due to ill health, and I guess she had a lot of health issues for a lot of her life. So I think being a writer would be a good place to go for that. She began working as a reader for publisher-editor Martin Greenberg at Gnome Press. And we probably have heard of that, although it was a small press then. They focused on science fiction. She remained until 1958, when, with 21 novels published, she became a full-time professional writer. So she went to Florida for a while because of her health. And they don't say it here, but a couple of these other ones, they talk about her mother being a huge help in lots of ways, including with the books, editing. She was the primary editor, that kind of stuff. Literary career. Oh, here it is. Her first book, The Prince Commands, being Sundry Adventures of Michael Carl, was the first book she wrote, but it didn't get published until the second book was published. All right, so let's see. I mean, we're going to want to go into what she published because there's a lot, some 200 titles.
This one is interesting. Her first published science fiction was a short story, The People of the Crater.
Okay, yeah, because I thought the book was, but this makes sense. A lot of people get short stories published first,
and that might have been simply adventure. The first book might have been an adventure, but not science fiction.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so let's see.
Petune of the Horn. I've read that.
See, I've read a lot of her novels too, but I've looked at these names and I'm like, I don't really recognize this. So I'm going to have to figure out which ones. Of course, there's over 200 titles and many, many other short stories and other things she's written. It's incredible.
Yeah, and her first science fiction novel, Starman's Son, 20 to 50 AD is actually the first science fiction novel that I've read. Though not
Like
after,
ever,
not,
right?
not yeah, not when she wrote it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, that was before you were born. So
before that, it was Danny Dunn and Tom Swift.
Okay, I don't really know those.
Tom Swift, you can still find. Danny Dunn, I had no luck finding, but
Okay.
they were of the same type of thing.
Okay. So let's see. She became a prolific novelist in the 50s, with many of her books published for the juvenile market. We talk about and they had a different name for it than
Young adult.
Young adult. Young adult is the term we use now, basically. As of 1958, she became a full-time professional writer. Kirkus had reviewed 16 of her novels and awarded 4 of them starred reviews. Her 4 starred reviews in 57 had been awarded for 3 historical adventure novels, Follow the Drum, Scarface, Yankee Privateer, and 1 Cold War adventure at Swords Point. And she's won a lot of awards, too. I did try to look for a specific page listing all of the awards. I haven't quite come across it yet. All right, so let's see. Yeah, here it is. Twice nominated for the Hugo Award in 64 for Witch World, which is one of the most famous of her series. Also, The Beastmaster was hers, and I think that one has become
they made
shows, movies.
They made a very bad movie out of it.
That's unfortunate.
I no. Read the book.
Yeah, well, books are almost always better than the movies. Unlike some that get written together, the book, the movie, they kind of happen at the same time. I only know of 2 titles like that, though.
Right.
So it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, but just don't watch the movie unless you want to watch some really bad movie that has some of the same names that are in her book.
Okay. Interesting. She was nominated 3 times for the World Fantasy Award for Lifetime Achievement. She won it in 1998. She won a number of other genre awards and regularly had works appear in the Locus Annual Best of Year polls. Those are great, those Best of Year compilation type books, because
I used to have a lot of them.
Yeah, I remember reading those too, because you could get like all kinds of stuff all at once for a really good deal, usually in a book. I think some of the club books had those.
Well, and if you found a good editor whose taste you agreed with, then you know that if you found a compilation by that editor, you'd like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. She founded Swordsmen and Sorcerers Guild of America. This was a loose-knit group of heroic fantasy authors, founded in the 60s, led by Lynn Carter, with entry by fantasy credentials alone. She was the only woman among the original 8 members, and I don't think it's around anymore. Some of these works were published in Lynn Carter's Flashing Swords anthology. And you said you heard about that, right?
Oh yeah, I've read a bunch of them.
I never heard of that.
Oh yeah.
So that's a wonderful thing about this too, is you hear about new things. So she was introduced to Dungeons and Dragons in this Greyhawk world. And you knew about Gary, how do you say his
Gary
last name?
Gygax.
Gygax as well. I had not heard of him.
Well, he's the one who one of the ones who created Dungeons and Dragons.
Ah, okay.
He's the one who's credited with creating it.
I see.
There was someone else, but he doesn't get credit.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And see, it says here she subsequently wrote Quag Keep, which is actually the book I was reading when I thought about doing this episode. Doing a profile of Andre Norton. In fact, I'm about to finish it, so that'll be tonight or tomorrow night, probably.
Well, yeah, and it goes on to say that there's a sequel to it that neither of us.
Yeah, we didn't know, which had to be finished after she died, actually, by this Jean Rabe.
Yeah,
they were collaborating on it, and then Ms. Rabe had to finish it. All right, so the thing about the book, though, is that they are in 2 different worlds. There's sort of real regular folks, and then there's a world of their characters too. And so it's kind of Dungeons and Dragons related, and it has this sort of sci-fi connection between the 2 worlds.
And if you've read 18 million stories with that premise, this is where it started. Quag Keep. That's what started that premise.
She is often considered the grand dame of science fiction. So kind of cool stuff. And her final complete novel, Three Hands for Scorpion,
Scorpio.
Scorpio, was published on April 1st, slightly like right around the time of her death. And
2005.
yeah, they actually got her a preprint copy so she could see it before she died.
Yeah.
But it came out, I think, just after her death. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, officially was published after her. So here's some good covers of the books.
And I like the covers in those days.
Yeah, these are neat covers. This one actually looks like it might be what's
it's not Boris.
No.
Oh, you thinking Bonishaw?
No.
Okay.
Shoot, I should have looked up his name. Anyway, some of this art is kind of familiar to us. We've seen some of the artists out there in the world. It's kind of cool. All right, so let's see. Oh, they talk about the series, her legacy. Oh, here it is. Often called the Grand Dame of science fiction and fantasy. But yeah, I would definitely go here and read this to get kind of a great starting overview point. They talk about some of the awards. In fact, one was created after her death. Well, let's see, in 1984? Nope, that's before. Announced the creation of the Andre Norton Award to be given each year for an outstanding work of fantasy or science fiction for the young adult literature market. So this kind of really fulfills her what she started. She started writing young adult fiction. All right, so let's see. Beginning with the 2005 publications. While the Norton Award is not a Nebula Award, it is voted on by that SFWA group, and they share some procedures with the Nebula Awards. I wonder if that's been rolled into there now. Anyway, nominally for young adult book, actually the eligible class is middle grade and young adult novels. This added a category for genre fiction to be recognized and supported for young readers. Unlike Nebulas, there is a jury whose function is to expand the ballot beyond the 6 books with most nominations by members. And there's actually a page here that will go into that, and it has the years, the different years, who won, various things like that. Yeah, we'll see. There's quite a lot of tabs open we have here. So this High Halleck Library, she actually helped create something that would be a resource for the folks that wrote in this style, this genre, to reference these kinds of things. Let's see where it talks about the different. They talk about somewhere the things that you could
genres of science fiction, fantasy.
Well, what you could actually read about, like swords and the different things that you might not know as a writer, but someone else would know as a.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It must have been in a different.
We'll see it. We'll see it here somewhere. So, it was. I love this. The facility, named after one of the continents in Norton's Witch World series, was home to more than 10,000 text videos and various other media. Attached to the facility were 3 guest rooms, allowing authors and scholars the chance to stay on site to facilitate their research goals. It opened on February 20th, 1999, and it unfortunately had to close in 2004. Most of it was sold. Andre Norton was just declining in health. So I guess if you don't have somebody to back it up and keep going, that kind of happens. It dies kind of with you. So they have some other things. We've got this page up, this Andre Norton bibliography. So I will talk about that shortly. And then, of course, they have the notes, cited references, just a typical Wikipedia page. But I want to get here because, let me tell you, there are so many titles in this bibliography. These works were written or edited by the American fiction writer Andre Norton. Andre Alice Norton, born Alice Mary Norton, 1912 to 2005. Before 60, she used the pen name Andrew North several times and jointly with Grace Allen Hogarth, Ellen Weston once. So remember we talked about she used some pen names. It wasn't very often. She wrote mostly with Andre Norton as her pen name, which then became her official. She changed her name to Andre Norton. So she became Andre Norton officially.
And one of the reasons for the multiple pen names, and I got this from a science fiction writer from that time period,
cool,
is that if you wrote too many things, they couldn't publish them in too many. basically they wouldn't publish your name to be seen in too many publications at the same time.
Yeah, if they only had like 3 stories, you couldn't have 2 of them as your name.
Right.
So you could
Or
have
just
2 of them if you had a different name. Sounds like, yeah.
right. Yeah. And they would so a lot of these authors had multiple pen names just for that purpose.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And,
Yeah.
and others used different pen names for different genres.
Yep, that makes sense. And that still happens.
Mhm.
It still happens. In fact, there's like series that are, by the author with one name, and a different series by the author with a different name. I've read a
Mhm.
bunch of those. She's best known for science fiction and fantasy or speculative fiction in a field where her work was first published in the 50s. She also wrote crime fiction, romantic fiction, and historical fiction. I did not know that. That was mostly before 1960, so I guess science fiction and fantasy were her main
Right.
topics of
Her
writing.
early stuff, and I think I've read some of it when I was a kid.
Oh.
The historical fictions were young adult adventure stuff, but it took place with historical
Okay.
time periods.
Yeah, that can be very useful. Like the Doctor Who show,
Mhm.
it started off as a way to help young people learn about history.
Mhm.
So I love this. The term non-genre distinguishes that other work here, which expresses the perspective of the Internet Speculative Fiction Database. Also, I didn't know about that. All right, so we're going to take a look at the titles, and we'll not name all of them, but just so you know, this is a very, very long page, and it starts with the single titles. And I think that's in actual order of written because the Prince Commands wasn't published first.
Right.
So here we have, and they just keep going. I mean,
yeah. Like I said, I read Hewn of the Horn.
And Starman's Son, it sounds like.
Starman's Son was my first one, and then and here was one of the troubles with her work, is that they would republish it in different names. If you look at the different names, Daybreak 2250 AD, and then Beyond Earth's Gates.
Well, that's so you could buy it again.
Right.
Of course, you'd sit there and read it and go, hang on, I've read this story, and that would be annoying, actually.
Yeah, it was very annoying. But that's how they got extra sales, and they did that a lot in that time period. So
wait, Stargate? Is this Stargate as in Stargate? Oh, maybe not. Anyway, Stargate is a very famous series, but it looks like this is a little bit different.
Yeah,
so
it just had a same name.
Yeah, got it. All right, so it just goes on, and I'll kind of point out when we're halfway through because there is a lot here. I had no idea. She had written so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to see which ones I have written. I've read. Sorry. I know I've read a bunch, but I don't know. I don't remember titles. I think if I see them, I could remember. Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go, Dawn. Maybe that's where you got Astra. I don't know. Yeah, there's the Beastmaster series.
Yep. The Stars Are Ours. I remember that.
Okay.
Starborn. Yep. Yeah, the Beastmaster series. Lord of Thunder is actually pretty good. Now the other 3, I don't know, but they came out after I was reading stuff. I might have to find those. Yeah. Just to see, because the Beastmaster is still a very good adventure book.
Yeah. Now sometimes whenever she writes with another author, it kind of changes the book.
Well, a lot of the older masters would collaborate and essentially put their name on something who would write in their style just to get that person known.
Right. And of course, with a new author, it would be a chance for her name, Andre's name, to become popular. They do that a lot with artists, music artists, that kind of thing. I've seen that very, very often. We see that team, the team up with new and the previous to help both of them out. And it makes sense. It's smart. I think it's smart.
Yeah. Star Rangers and Star Guard. Those are okay. Those are both very good.
Yeah, we're not even halfway down the page, folks. Yeah. See how many titles we have here? It's amazing. And like, this is fantasy. Oh, with Mercedes Lackey. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Mercedes Lackey. These titles are neat. 5 senses. Scent of magic, wind, stone, taste of magic. Mm-hmm. Some very interesting and creative ideas in here. Mm-hmm. Magic Sequence, Mark of the Cat. There they are, Quag Keep. And this, I'll show you this title. This is the cover of the book I'm reading right now. So I don't know if that's the original cover, but
it's
a lot of
the
times,
one that I bought. So yeah, in '79 I would have bought it new at that time.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll actually reissue them with new covers too. And boy, if you collect them, you're getting them all every single time, whether you have the books already or not.
Yep.
I kind of like the originals myself. So I think this is about for little kids. This is for young people.
Oh, she liked humanoid cat.
Characters. Anthropomorphizing cats, or
yeah, she was one of the early furries. She had to have been, because so many of there was almost always a furry side character.
I see. Okay, so we're still not even halfway down this page. I mean, just look at all these series. Can you imagine writing so many series of books on top of all the single
Star Trillium? Scroll up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Or Black Trillium.
With Marion Zimmer Bradley and Julia May.
She helped Marion Zimmer Bradley.
Oh, cool.
Became known by collaborating with her.
Yeah, there's another one here.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I've heard
that's
of
what
Julia
she did
May
a lot.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, to actually, mentor younger authors, I think it's wonderful. Look at this Dipple. We just keep going.
Cat's Eye, yeah.
This is what I really wanted to show you, because it's just such a body of work. Unbelievable. I mean, we hear about some of the big names. Isaac Asimov wrote like over 500 titles, but Andre Norton wrote a lot too.
And if you ever read a science fiction story dealing with finding artifacts of the Forerunners, some race that existed before everyone else did. Okay. This right here for the Forerunner. Okay. And the other books around it. That's again another thing. She was the genesis of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And all right. Well, cool. So many people write in those, but in that world, sort of that, or not that world, universe. But that concept. Oh, I see. Okay. That concept. So. Okay. But that's she did it. And then here's a title I've read, Moon of Three Rings. Exiles. I might have read, a couple of those. Moonsinger. Okay. Solar Queen. Yeah, I've been going through these really fast whenever I've been doing my research, but yeah, Solar Queen was the name of the ship. And so Sargasso of Space, Plague Ship, Voodoo Planet, I think I've read. Postmac the Stars, definitely read that. And then the other ones, Redline the Stars, those I haven't read yet, because they're after I was a little bit newer, 93 and so on. Yeah. Okay, so now we're about halfway down. We are halfway through this page, folks. And we finally gotten to the Witch World series, which I actually haven't read. Okay. And didn't really want to, but you started the first one? Yeah. Okay. And kind of the concept was the way to depower a witch was to rape her. Yeah. Great. And I was out at that, so. Yeah, that's hard. Now, if they overcome that, that's kind of useful. I didn't get that far. No, right. All right. So they had two cycles, this S-carp cycle and this high halleck cycle. So these actually are part of the series too, this Witch World series. It just keeps going. Which was interesting, because I read the Crystal Griffin and didn't realize it was part of that. And the Jargoon Pard, I didn't realize it was part of the Witch World series. Yeah, I could totally see this as a list you would print off and then go looking through and just make it a reading list of, have to read this list. Yeah. It's just amazing to me. I had no freaking clue she had written so many books. All right, so I think some of these are kind of repeats, like you were saying. Well, the Beastmaster, that's omnibus editions. Those Ace Double. Yeah. Oh, never buy an Ace Double unless you're a collector. Oh, are they like? Well, because what it is truncated versions, like a Reader's Digest. Yes, two stories in one book. One on. Yeah, and one upside down from the other. Okay. But they chop it so much to make it fit into half a book. The editing part is. Okay. Yeah, don't. Yeah. I've read some that were in an Ace Double, and it's like, holy heck, half the story's missing.
Got it. Okay.
Sometimes some of the better have.
Yeah, I kind of knew that this was coming to kind of redone. So this isn't exactly a whole, but these are still the titles that were published. So yeah, again, if you're a collector, you're gonna want every single one of these. Of course, I understand that. It's kind of a sickness, but yeah. See, Secrets of the Witch World. I don't know if these are like additional short stories about it. I'm not sure. I just don't. I had no clue. Like I said, before I went and did this, I did not know that there was that much of her work out there. Look at short stories. We are approaching the end, but we are not there yet. Some of these titles, All Cats Are Gray. It's kind of cool. All right, so we are nearing, and like I said, I don't think these are exactly every single title once. There's some duplicating going on here, but yeah, there's still a lot. All right, and that's certainly anthologies. Cat Fantastic, certainly something you can find
Cat
yourself.
Fantastic are anthologies of stories that have cats in them.
Okay.
Science fiction, fantasy stories with cats.
And those usually have more than one author to them, right?
Oh yeah, there's multiple stories.
And sometimes it's like the same world or universe or whatever.
It's not in this case.
It's not. Okay.
It's just has a cat, whatever it is.
Okay.
Has a cat.
All right. So it's a thematic thing. All right. So let's see. Magic and Works published exclusively at Andre Norton, and we'll be going to that site very soon too. And I think one of the things they do on that site, because it's all volunteer, they sell these in order to support like the hosting and all the things that go along with having a website like that. Nonfiction. All right, so we're going to move on because there's a really nice, I did not know that Case Western Reserve did this. Basically, in this case, it's a biography of Andre Norton. A lot of the same things we've already read. Collinwood High School, born date, died, death date, all that. So, you can certainly read these here too. Talks about the first novel. It's kind of a timeline as well. What you looking up?
Gutenberg Press.
Oh, yeah. You were saying there's probably titles there too. Does that mean they're in the public domain, you think? Or
yes.
Okay. Look at the spy
16
novels.
titles. I'll put this in.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that'd be fun to read.
Oh, Starborn. So that's one of the names of the first book that I ever read.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, this is on the Case Western Reserve site, and then I'm going to go over here because this is a really cool website all around. This Encyclopedia of World Biography, and I've found other things here too. In fact, I recognize her, Marie Curie, I think, right? A bunch of these. You can already tell who they are. So this is a great resource too. Like Wikipedia, a good place to start. Some of the same information we've seen. I don't want to go too crazy here, but I think sometimes I see things in the different ones that I didn't see in like Wikipedia, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, she never married, left no descendants. She was in fragile health for most of her life. And I think here it is. In 1966, Norton and her mother, who often assisted her as a proofreader and editor, moved to Winter Park, Florida. That's where I found out about. They didn't really say anything about her mother in the Wikipedia page, but here they do talk about her being very, very helpful with her writing. So that's cool. Went back to Tennessee, first on a farm. And there's just great stuff in here. Well, here it is. She established a library for genre writers, the High Halleck Genre Writers Research and Reference Library. Oh, we got a comment?
Yeah, Janie. Fuzzy screen for you.
Oh, no.
Which one? Go back a page. I think it was that one. Nope.
The Case Western?
Nope.
Oh, sorry about that.
Nope. Well, okay, because we've got two computers set up here,
yeah,
Janie.
They both look okay.
They both look okay. So, might be in the transmission if anyone else could pipe up whether it seems
let us
fuzzy
know.
to them. Yeah.
I don't know what we can do about it, but yeah, and I think here it is. It was full of reference material about weapons Ancient Religions, History, and Mythology. So that's where they talked about the actual contents of this resource library. So she did a bunch of things too. She found to fund the library and other enterprises, she began collaborating with younger authors on several books, allowing them to do most of the writing while overseeing them. Clute of the Independent found most of these latter titles merely respectable, adding that they do not have the Norton glow.
Well, because they weren't written by her, and
No.
she was probably giving advice, mentorship, and lending her name.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense for both. You know, the new author brings back the previous author and vice versa. So, and here I like this part too. Her health declined further, and her publisher tore books rush printed, and here is advanced copy of her last novel, Three Hands of Scorpio, so that she could see it before she passed away. She died on March 17th, 2005, at her home in I'm not even going to say that, Tennessee. Congestive heart failure. She was 93 though. She did not want a funeral service, wanted to be cremated along with copies of her first and last novels. Crazy, huh? Oh, Cliff's got.
Check setting on screen and resolution. Yeah. Cliff, are you seeing it fuzzy too, or was it just Janie? So we'll find out later.
Yeah, let us know. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this website, and this is the volunteer website, andre-norton.com. And what I did, you can see these titles here too. What I did was I have this first one here, and see where it says read more. I've got other tabs set up to look at that shortly. So we'll just look at what they talk about her. Say her name to someone who's read her work and watch the flash in their eyes. There's something about Andre Norton.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, look, Janie, it looks like something's going on with your screen.
Yeah, so sorry.
Yeah.
And then this part, biography, and it looks like they're.
I like the cat there. The cat looks comfy.
Yeah, yes. And I love these pictures. I like this little guy here, the little dragon, whatever he is.
No, it's that running lizard. The
running lizard. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a real critter.
Yes.
Okay.
Got famous for showing that it has webbed feet. It can run for a short distance on water.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. So again, these are volunteers. So you'll see different names for different articles, basically. So again, I've got another tab open for that. But there's kind of three things in here that really help you out on this part of the page. It's like the home page of it. The Grand Dam of Science Fiction and Fantasy, an introduction. One of the best known authors of contemporary science fiction and fantasy. They sold a number of the titles have sold over 1 million copies. Yeah, so very well known, and I think still well known. All right, so again, another tab open, but this is kind of neat. Andre Norton and Sue Stewart. It's kind of a cute story about her housekeeper. Because she got to the point where she was, quite ill, and this Sue Stewart helped her out. She was recognized as one of the best known, most published female writers in the world. In fact, all of history. She's one of the only 3 grandmasters in the field and was the first female writer to receive this honor. Andre won several awards during her 70-year writing career. 70 years of writing, which began in 1934. She's best known for her story Beastmaster, which became a popular syndicated television series.
Okay, I tried to I guess my brain forgot that it was a movie. Then they made a series out of it.
Was the series any better, you think?
No.
Okay, that's too bad. But it does talk about her being a dedicated caregiver who chose to work with hospice patients. And when she met Andre Norton, she treated her as she would have any other of her patients, fairly and kindly, but with firmness. And this was very helpful to Andre Norton. So let's see. Sue and her husband, Ollie, eventually became Andre's main caregivers, moving into the house in Tennessee. It was enlarged to suit. They moved her into their house. It was enlarged to suit her needs. Thanks to Sue and Ollie, Andre's last year was happy and secure. When she had difficulty writing, Sue encouraged her to take up bead crafting. She began making jewelry and left a marvelous group of creations showing her keen and varied imagination. It'd be fun to find those pictures of those. So she had made Sue power of attorney. They worked side by side to oversee Andre's literary business. Sue took up the work like Andre's right hand. This week, Sue showed me the advanced, uncorrected proof of Andre's last work titled A Taste of Magic. Andre had begun writing the novel but was unable to finish it. Jean Raby, one of Andre's friends and co-writers, happily agreed to finish it. So it looks like Sue is kind of still overseeing the basic her estate, basically. All right, and so we've got a little bit more down here, some neat pictures. But then I want to go to and this is, even though it's volunteer, it's a state authorized, but that's all they're going to say about it. Kind of cute. And there's a bookstore at the end too. I got that over here. All right, so we've got a little bit about Andre Norton and got a lot of the biographical stuff. But let's see if there was anything in here that I thought kind of stood out. Yeah, I like this. Most readers are in their teens when they first find her. I believe that's true of me. And you sounded like you too, right, Jeff?
No, a little bit before that.
Okay. For those that do, it's like falling through a secret door into a universe of other worlds. Wild, beautiful worlds where being different is no crime, and great, courageous hearts overcome their own fears and prove stronger than evil and find a place. I think that's great.
Yeah. My mom got that Daybreak 2250 AD book for me like 2 years before I actually read it.
Oh, wow.
And she was so happy when I actually decided to read it.
Did she read it? Did she know that?
I don't know. She never told me. But she wanted me to read it.
Okay.
Because she knew I liked reading, and that would get me from like the kids' books to, to something a little bit more. And Jenny has something. She says, thanks for the setting suggestion. Went to dark and clarified text view to see clearly. Thanks all. Great information as always. Oh, good.
Oh, how wonderful.
I'm glad Cliff was able to help you, Janie.
Yeah, me too, because I had no clue. And this is biography of, seems like it's going to be some of the same stuff. Yeah, biography. Again, I'm going to try and see if I can. It kind of started early with her. The family took weekly visits to a public library. Even before she could read herself, her mother would read to her and recite poetry as she went about various household chores. Even the good grades at school were rewarded by books. So I think that's wonderful. I remember when my daughter was little, I would definitely make time and sit with her, just kind of cozy up on the couch and read books. Yeah, very important. Because if you learn to read, you can learn anything. Yeah, talk about her being at Cleveland Public Library. And the neat thing about Cleveland, there are 12 library systems there. They are some of the best libraries in the world. And I think at one point, they actually claimed that title, best library system in the world. All right, so let's see. Yeah, they just talk about the stuff we've already kind of mentioned. Oh, I like this too. Her writing, always uplifting and positive in its message, has touched the lives of many people. She has received numerous letters and emails from people who told her how her stories helped them find strength to overcome the obstacles they faced in real life. She will be sorely missed by us all. Yep. And there's another look at the cats.
The cats and their person.
Again, with her first and last novels.
Yep. And Andrew Norton was incredibly prolific. I've read some of those titles over the years. Yeah. Yeah,
I had no idea. And when she died, she wanted donations made to these places. So I think I've got that up here too, but I think I'm going to, well, I don't think I'm going to go into this much, but there was that third section, and this is it. Primary and secondary bibliography. I don't know that there's anything in particular I want to point out here, but there is a lot. And this is the site that's all volunteer. They reference a bunch of the books. And I know that they have the books on this site as well. Yeah, a lot of this we've already looked over.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a neat little poem thing from one of her, let's see, she contends that her life has not been interesting. I have a feeling it was pretty interesting. Well, they talk about this ability to project the mind into art successfully captures the quality of Ms. Norton's vicarious experience while also touching on her fascination with history. And I think this is well worth reading. That's pretty neat. So let's see, anything else in here that I wanted to point out? I don't think so. But lots of cool stuff if you want to go down that rabbit hole. I did include a link to the Amazon page for titles of her books. And I thought this was a really neat site because they have put the books in order. Sometimes to me, this is a really great way to read the books. Like sometimes they're written in out of chronological order. So if you have a list like this, you can actually read them in the order that the books were intended story-wise. And they do have sometimes both the publication order
And
as well as the in chronological order.
Oh, it looks like they give some of the alternate titles too. Star Rangers and the Last Planet.
Ah, okay. So you may have read either one of those, right?
I've read it.
But it's the same story.
Titles.
No, I mean anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I think this could be something you print out and you just check mark them off whenever you've read them. And if you care about going in order, I certainly like to go into chronological order myself. I have a hard time starting book 2 when I don't have book 1 yet. So I think most of these are just publication order, but some of them have both. Let's see here, because I remember seeing at least one of these groups publication. Here it is, publication order and then chronological order, which looks kind of similar. Oh, this one's out of order. Okay. So that can be, if you want to read them in chronological order as the story goes, this is a great list to look for. Again, we're not even halfway through. This just keeps going. All right, we've kind of seen some of those though. This is about when she died. They basically cover her life, but I think one of the nice things about this is they will hit the high points. In fact, I didn't really read this one as much because I kind of found it late, but I did read over this one here, Los Angeles Time, and it was great to hit the high points. Prolific author, earned a reputation as grand dame of science fiction. Talk about how she died, 70 years. That's amazing. And let's go over to this one too, because this is the books for sale on the volunteer page. And this is kind of neat because it has the covers, a lot of the covers of the books. And I think this is, let's see, no re-release, but I think some of the books that are just available here are going to show up too, that they use to help them make money to support the site. Yeah, it says all of them are on Amazon though. Well, maybe they hung them on Amazon though. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, some of these. Yeah, what says Andre Norton? I'm not totally sure. I haven't had a chance to really look over this thoroughly. But again, lots and lots and lots of titles, and some neat covers too. Looks like some of them redone, right? And this is someone else. So I don't know if the books. Oh, maybe this is it. Series of books released by this site. The profits of this 7. None of the rest of them help them support the site, but the titles of these 7 books do. I really don't like the covers though. I mean, look at this. This red on blue, you can barely read it. So, but it does make them, money to keep running things. So I don't know if they've put together like her letters or what. Or maybe some stories, maybe that didn't make it or something. I don't know. All right. So this Andre Norton Award was created, and I just want to kind of cover it real quick because I think this is really cool for middle grade and young adult fiction. I think probably for people who don't normally get any recognition. And this is where that big long list is of the winners from the past. Winners and nominees. Here's the table. Author, novel, publisher. And it looks like you can put them in order by however you like. And the year they won. Looks like they've got more and more over the years.
Oh,
JK shows up for the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, which was an excellent book. All of them are. Okay. So I think look, Terry Pratchett. So maybe that's where some of these people got their start. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about this yet. I kind of just found it today. So yeah, more and more possible rabbit holes to travel down. Yeah. Oh no, we saw that from Dawn. All right, and since it didn't come up in my search, I went ahead and looked for information on that dollhouse, and I found letters from the Cleveland Public Library, and they are talking about this dollhouse. This is a really cool interface because you can really zoom into these letters. And I won't read them fully, but I thought it was kind of cool because that looks like an address for her, right? Ms. Andre Norton, right? Isn't that how they do that?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, this person says, I know that we sent you a thank you letter, but I wanted to reiterate how grateful we are that you donated the dollhouse. When the dollhouse was brought to the library, I saw it in disassembled condition. So this is kind of neat. You kind of get a feel for what happened, how they got it, that kind of stuff. I enjoyed reading it, of course. I have something of a personal connection. I've seen it. I love the Cleveland Public Library system. I love all the libraries in Northern Ohio. It's an astonishing place for libraries. I got really spoiled. So coming out west, it was kind of hard because the libraries, well, I got really spoiled.
Well, the Midwest and New England is where all the robber barons basically bought their way into heaven by doing public works, and libraries were part of the things that they could get their name out there.
I got to tell you, though, the rest of us are still benefiting.
Yep.
So I did something. I went and looked up, is that house still there? Sure enough, it is. It looks, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? You can zoom in. You can see the house. It's on the east side of Cleveland. I mean, look at this. It is still there. Houses and books last a long, long time. Look at that. There it is. All right. And so this letter here was specific to the dollhouse as well. And what I really liked about it was, like, I'm reading it and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Romper Room was a show on WEWS TV. And that's where the station was. And I'm reading, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. This is about the show from the TV station. So I
remember watching that as a kid.
Okay, all right. So I'm not going to go into all of this, but I think there's a couple of fun things in here. A bit about the background information on the dollhouse, because I have a feeling that what happened was someone from the TV station someone from the library probably reached out to them and said, hey, can you tell us anything about this dollhouse? And they went and looked into it, right? So the only reason I'm doing this is because I know about it. I've seen it. I love the library. I want to talk about it just a little bit. It's called the Sprague House. It is furnished in the period of 1861. It is fashioned after the house.
Wait, before they tell us about it, we have to look through our magic mirror.
What do you mean? What? Sorry, is that a romper room thing?
Yes, it is.
Right. I forgot all about that. It's amazing the stuff you remember. Fashioned after the house of John Hunt Morgan of the famous Morgan Raiders in Lexington, Kentucky. The house is a gift of Ms. Andre Norton, a former children's librarian in the Cleveland Public Library. She's also the author of books for children and young adults. It's kind of cool because they talk about she made the stuff in it. She made the dollhouse. She made the stuff in it. And it goes on to say, when Miss Norton's friends knew of her hobby, they collected things from it from various parts of the world. The quilts on the beds were made by a friend in London who had studied under the Royal Needlework Society. The white shell on the fireplace mantle in the dining room was sent by Rosemary Sutcliffe. an outstanding English author. So I had no idea. I mean, I knew it was hers. I didn't know she made it. I didn't know a bunch of her friends donated stuff. There's just a little bit on the next page. Small items of interest, spectacles, keys, soap in the dish. The scrapbooks have real pictures pasted in them. I hope your children on Romper Room enjoy hearing about the spraying house and come down to the Cleveland Public Library to see it. So it sounds like the show covered this dollhouse during the show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I have for the profile. I think it's absolutely amazing. So, I had no idea that Andre Norton was, number one, so prolific, and two, that she wrote on so many different topics. Ms. Norton was a writer. Now, I'm an author. I've written a book, but she was a writer. And to me, they're different things. Anyway, you're up.
Okay. Some stellar events this week, November 17th through November 24th.
Tonight.
Yeah.
The Leonid
For some
Meteor
reason,
Show.
I didn't see this an hour ago when I read it through the first time.
But you read
November 17th through 18th. The Leonid Meteor Shower peaks after midnight. Did I actually read that?
You read it. We reviewed the show notes. So
I read that.
yes, you did.
Wow.
Oh, what happened? Dawn, what happened to Dollhouse? I believe it's still in the Cleveland Public Library, the downtown. Okay, here's the thing. Because they redid the building, at least one of the buildings, right? And I think it was in that building. And I haven't been to Ohio since then. So I hope it's still part of the library. I hope they didn't just warehouse it somewhere. But yeah, if anybody out there knows, I'd love to hear. Because yeah, those letters I saw were old, from like 1935. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Also, tonight the moon is. Oops. There's Cliff.
Oh my God! You saw it in Australia?
Romper Room was on Channel 9 for many, many years. Australian version. I was on it when I was 59 years ago.
No way. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate that. Oh, did we? Okay.
Oh, Janie.
Gee, how did we miss this? Jay found pictures of the dollhouse on the Cleveland Public Library website. So cool. Can you tell if it's still there? I would love to know. And Dawn will find out too if you say. You tell us.
Well, Dawn lives near there.
Yeah, well, yeah, Dawn's that practically in the neighborhood. It's a few miles away, but it's not that far. Closer than the rest of us.
Okay, Janie and Cliff's posts came in.
Oh, I see. The time says, yeah.
I think I went to click on Janie's, and Cliff's was there by the time I clicked on it. That's why we skipped Janie.
Yeah, I didn't even. Okay, yeah. I'm glad we saw both of you. Yeah. Okay. Are you still reading about the Leonid Meteor Shower?
No, I finished that. I'm still.
You did. Okay.
Someone keeps interrupting me.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll try. So, the moon is 4 days old and still a crescent, though it's waxing.
No, don't go there.
It will set early, less than 4 hours after sunset. November 18th, Mars and the sun are in conjunction. It's probably going to be hard to see Mars if it's that close to the sun. And Pluto and the moon are in conjunction.
But sometimes there's scientific reasons for this, because they can see like.
And if you can somehow blot the sun out, you can see Mars. But Dawn.
You can interrupt yourself. I wasn't going to do it.
I watched Romper Room 2. I'm going to see if I can find the house.
Do report back. Actually, if you find something out, take pictures and come on the show. Yep. Tell us about it. I would love to know.
Yeah.
Did you do this one?
And Pluto and the moon are in conjunction, of which you'll see the moon.
Yes.
November 20th is first quarter moon, and Saturn and the moon are in conjunction.
You should see both of those.
Yeah. One of them has rings. If both of them have rings, there's a problem.
Or the atmosphere.
Yeah. November 21st, the moon is at perigee. November 22nd, the moon is on the equator. And Neptune is in conjunction with the moon, which means that Neptune is on the equator.
Yes.
November 23rd is Thanksgiving Day here in the U.S. November 24th is our Friday night show. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and so we'll share what we are grateful for. And we encourage you to share with us too. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel. And the moon is at ascending node.
Other events and activities. I found earlier today a couple cool things. The Wikipedia photo contest. Let me just go there, and then when I'm there, share. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. The Wikipedia photo contest around science. Let me see the other one too. I was just gonna kind of browse around and talk about it a little bit. So this one that comes around every couple years. So they got a list of them. This is the year though. It's basically this month and next month. You can submit. You can link here. Click here to do so. Pictures of interesting things involving science. And they have some topics like, let's see what it says here. The category, sorry. People in science, microscopy images, non-photographic media, image sets, wildlife and nature, astronomy, and general category. Yeah, so
I shared the link.
Cool. And I wanted to kind of go through these links up here at the top: rules, categories, participate. It'll be quick though. Here are the rules. You want to make sure and follow all the rules. We always talk about you follow all the rules because that's the first thing you'll be disqualified on, not following the rules. It's from November to December. You've got to submit it in time. Add your image. Everyone, there's no limit to the images you can add. And I think it's also worldwide. There are some special areas, and we'll talk about that next, I think. But absolutely read these very, very carefully over and over and over. Make sure you do every little thing they say so you don't get disqualified. All right, so then they talk about these image categories. We kind of talked about it, but I really liked how, okay, are they going to, yeah, they're populating scientists in their natural habitat. That's kind of cool. Microscopy images. I love that. They're basically like, you have no idea what it is. I mean, look at this thing right here. What the heck is that? It's a totally different viewpoint of what that thing is. Non-photographic. I'm kind of curious. Okay. Oh, I see. Like this chart thing. That's cool. Videos too. Image sets. Okay, that's what they're talking about. Wildlife and nature. Very nice, very nice. Astronomy, yay! Oh, this thing, that's cool. And the general category. Well, these are pretty cool. All right, so they highlight these areas of the world in blue. The countries marked in bright blue have an organizing team for this year's competition. That means there is also a local competition, and winners from the local competition would get to the WSC final. For countries without an organizing team, I guess that's in the rest of the gray, right? Sorry, Australia. Yeah, most of the world, basically. There's a separate upload form that will function from November 1st to December 31st. Follow the rules. Always follow the rules. So you want to use that separate form if you are not in the blue, bright blue areas that they highlight here. I wonder why this one's even different color. They don't really address that different color. Yeah. All right, so they've got the local ones here, and yeah, absolutely take a look. And here are the folks that are organizing this. We do like to point out these folks. Heck, if we could get them as a guest, that'd be really fun. So maybe we'll try for that. Wouldn't that be cool? Because somebody's gonna win this thing. All right, so they talk about the jury, the members. Looks like it's pretty much an international crew.
Okay, we've got some comments here.
Yeah.
Dawn's.
We saw that one.
The cliff, the magic mirror. You can see Pam, Jeff, Astra,
right.
Dave. Yeah.
This kind of is a magic mirror if you think about it. This being online stuff.
And then Janie, 9 pictures of the Sprague dollhouse from 1993.
Yay!
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and Cliff, he made himself feel old, I think.
The romper room part.
Yeah. Cliff, you're not as old as you're going to be. Me too. Huh. That's different from the way my mom would say it. My mom would always say, you're as old as you're going to be.
What?
Well, that was after I would say something to her.
I see. To Janie. What?
Oh, Janie.
Oh, Todd. Yeah, thank you. All right, so definitely look this over. Maybe we'll see if we can find these people. I do have one more thing to cover here. And I just found this on Facebook earlier today. They say, join the mission and have your name engraved on NASA's Europa Clipper spacecraft as it travels 1.8 billion miles to explore Europa, an ocean world that may support life. Sign your name today to the message in a bottle. I love these things, and we see them. This is kind of just a new way to do it. You want to go ahead and put your name in here. I'm going to do it. I waited for the show to share. And then you hit the next button. Of course, there's a nice poem. But what I really want to tell you about is my friend, our friend, Bob Gonley. He's working on the Europa Clipper project. And when I asked him to talk about it, he said, well, ask him next April, and he may be a guest on our show. So let me finish this up here. Did I spell it right? Looks good. Looks good. United States. And where am I? California. All right. Let's see what happens next. Oh, I think I already get these, but what the heck? Sign on. Because I don't think I've been here before. Oh, looky there. Welcome aboard. Your name will be added to our message in a bottle. Download, print, and share your custom artwork below. Oh, cool. Something to... Look at that. Something new to post into my Facebook page, my Facebook profile. All right, so let's see. I think that is the cool stuff I had for you this time.
Okay.
And you're next.
If you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, November 24th, Thanksgiving weekend.
And please, if you are in the United States, I hope you have a wonderful and gratitude-filled Thanksgiving. And if you're outside the United States, think about us having a feast and totally overdoing it. Because that's sort of how it works. All right, folks, thanks so much for being here with us. Cliff and Janie and Dawn. I don't know what Scott's up to. We'll have to find out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anything else from you?
No, that'll do it.
Anything else from you? We will continue to look for your comments afterward as well.
Yes.
So, yeah, folks, have a great week. It's going to be kind of a short show maybe next week because...
Oh,
put up a link.
Message in a bottle.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I had it copied. I just forgot to paste it. Thanks, Cliff.
We're so glad you're here. We got part of it and you got the other part of it. Yay. All right, I think that's it for us. Mm-hmm. Have a great week, folks. We are so glad you're here with us. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.